And the consequence is like a punch in the gut to every working family in this country.
Senator Elizabeth Warren, who comes at this from the angle of focusing on a lot of, banking regulation, financial regulation, making economic policy. What are you seeing? How is Congress handling these tariffs?
When you have a tariff policy that is like a giant game of red light, green light. It's like they're playing squid games here. And they keep flashing the light up. And at one moment, your tariff is 10% for everybody across the board on every product. And then the next moment, no, it went up to 30%. And then for that one over there, it went up to 100%. And then that one, oh, we're creating an exception and it goes down. As Senator Murphy said, that instability means a lot of partners around the world say, not me, man, I'm going somewhere else. But focus for just a minute on what it means here in the US. We kept talking about the whole setup for this was that we wanted more manufacturing jobs here in the United States. We want to onshore more of our critical supply chains. So put yourself in the position of you're somebody who's thinking about where you're going to invest some money. You're going to have to borrow some money to do it, a few $1,000,000. You could use that money to build a factory here in the United States. You could use it to upgrade an old factory that's not at maximum capacity. You could use it to buy new tools so you could really manufacture at scale. You could use it to bring in and start to train a workforce that could really manage. But to do any of that, you realize you're not going to get your money back in the first hour. You're not going to get your money back even in the first year. It's going to take an arc of time before you're going to get your money back. So you've got to make the best guess you can about what's it going to look like in terms of what am I going to have to pay to get the raw materials I need to be able to manufacture what I want to manufacture here. And what's my market going to look like on the other end? And what Trump has said is if any part of your trying to make this thing involves reaching out overseas and bringing that stuff in, and that means anything from raw materials to a particular chip to precision tools, if you have to bring that in from somewhere else, when you get ready to bring it in, your costs may be here, or then again, they may be here, or then again, they may be here, or they may be back down here. Nobody can plan around that. And as people in the manufacturing industry say, you're only as strong as the weakest link in your supply chain. It doesn't do you any good to have 99% of what it takes to build this thing if the critical chip that you need isn't there. So that's on the front end. Same kind of thing happens on the back end. If there's a reciprocal tariff, a retaliatory tariff, where the place you were planning to be able to export to says, man, we're not letting stuff come in from the United States because Donald Trump has slapped a 10%, 30%, 100% tariff on us, then your whole plan for how much you were going to spend to make this and how much you were going to be able to sell it for has just turned upside down. The reason I know all this is because I literally am getting the calls from modest manufacturing outfits in Massachusetts who are telling me, some are saying they're screwed on one end, some are saying they're screwed on the other, and the calls that are the most frantic say they're screwed on both ends. And the reason I identify all this is not helping us build a stronger economic future. It literally is like taking an axe and chopping down whatever future we might have had in this area. And that's true. These are just truths about how it works. Whether you're trying to manufacture machine goods, automobiles, or you're trying to manufacture drugs here in the United States, bring that onshore. Manufacturing the pills that we need, the heart medications that we need, the antibiotics that we need. So what Donald Trump is doing is making the growth of our economy much harder. He is actually pressing down on growth. Now, think about what that's going to mean for the American family, because this is where you get right into the heart of the stuff I do. And that's going to be fewer people with jobs. We get that. That's going to mean when you get fewer people with jobs, wages do not keep climbing. Wages either flatten or start to go down. And those tariffs on pretty much everything, pretty much from everywhere, pretty much across the board, are going to be driving prices up. So prices go up, inflation goes up, jobs go down. And who's really going to feel this recession? It's just going to be hardworking families that are just trying to make it from one week to the next. So here's Donald Trump off doing his tweets, tariff by tweet. And the consequence is like a punch in the gut to every working family in this country.